Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy A13 on the left, and we're going to be looking at the Samsung Galaxy A03S on my right. But there's going to be some slight differences, so make sure you stay to the end of the video so you can learn about the differences between these devices. They're going to have different builds, different materials, different camera lenses, and different hardware inside of them, as well as different software. So let's just jump into the video. But if it's your very first time to the channel, I encourage you to subscribe and get notified for more videos just like this. But if you're already a part of the crew, salute. Alright, so the first thing is that both of these do have different packages. So the new modern box is going to be a lot slimmer. So you can see right here we have the A3S right here with a big bold blueprint. We got the A13S with a small black print. You know what I mean? They both, when it comes to opening up these guys and looking at the accessories, you pretty much get everything included for the A03S, including headphones and a wall adapter and a wall charger, so you could actually charge your phone with Type-C charging cable right here. And then let's take a look at what comes in the A13, which isn't nothing crazy because it's going to be a smaller box with just the Type-C cable inside of it and your startup guide and your user manual, but there's no charging brick and there's no cord for charging to the wall. So both devices will have a huge battery inside, a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which is going to be pretty substantial for lasting throughout the whole day. We actually have different materials on each of these devices. A much more glossy material on the A13, which is going to give you a lot of fingerprints on there. But the A03S is fingerprint, what's the word for it? Like fingerprint, anti-fingerprint. So you can't really, get any fingerprints on there. So I really do like that it's repellent to fingerprints, because that's going to be something that's pretty cool. So you can see both of these devices, as far as the build quality, have that headphone jack at the bottom with the microphone next to it and the Type-C with the speaker right next to that, right? Turning it to this side, they both have the same SIM slot right here for expansion of your storage up to 256 gigabytes. Microphones on both of the devices at the top, and we both do have the side mounted fingerprint with the volume rocker on this side. So pretty much the exact same build quality, and both of these devices are going to be almost the same size, but the Samsung Galaxy A13 is going to be 6.6 inches, where the A03S is going to be 6.5 inches. So let's do a fingerprint test real quick, okay? Let's do that at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. That was the A13. Let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3. That was like almost the exact same time. 1, 2, 3. And it's by a hair. I'm gonna give it to the A13 one last time. 1, 2, 3. That's real close. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it's the A13 when it comes to the fingerprint test. So one of the things I want to talk to you about both of these devices is the displays, and they're going to be pretty similar when it comes to the display. So let's just jump into the overall technology. So with the A13, we're getting the 6.6 TFT LCD display, and with the A03S, we're getting the 6.5 inch TFT display. They're both IPS 20:9. Now this is where the difference happens, right? So this is the A13 right here. You can see right here. So let's dial this up all the way to the top. We got 1080 as the top of this device as far as the threshold we can go up to, and they both look absolutely handsome when you're looking at them. Now this one is going up to 1080 as well, so just keep in mind you're getting the 720 by 1600 HD plus display on the A03S versus the 1080 by 2408 on the A13. So a lot brighter when it comes to the panel because it's got 400 PPI on the A13. So let me just dial these up. There we go. So this is the full brightness, and both of them look really good side by side. Obviously, they're going to be very comparable at this price point. So there's not you can't really notice too big of a difference, even though the A13 is absolutely gorgeous with that 1080 panel with the 400 ppi, and we got 270 ppi on the A03S. Now, both of these devices was blessed with the Infinity V notch. The A13 has Gorilla Glass 5, but we don't got like that strong of a glass on the A03S. So the A13 will have a much stronger Gorilla Glass 5, where this I think is like Gorilla Glass 3, just to be 100%. But let me know if you know exactly what the A03S is made of. But let's take a look at the overall scrolling speeds on both of these guys. So I kind of just want to back out of everything. So let's do the Play Store 1, 2, 3. That's the A13 right here on this test. Let's do the camera 1, 2, 3. And that was very even. I couldn't tell because they both came up with the exact same time. So let's do Facebook 1, 2, 3. And that was a draw. That was a draw. Let me know if one did better, because I couldn't really see. I was looking behind the camera. So we did Facebook. Let's do Instagram, right? 1, 2, 3. And so like you can see both of them are very comparable when it comes to speed. That was the A13 right there. It just happened to be a lot quicker. So we're gonna start talking about we're gonna transition into the cameras and then the processing power on both of these guys, and then I'll talk about the battery in just a second, and then we'll wrap up the video. All right, so we're gonna be talking about the graphics quality on the A03S. It's gonna be a 14 nanometer processing chip. Let's check out the graphics real quick. It's going to medium and smooth frame rate. We got, this thing is clocked in at 2.3 frequency, which is crazy because most phones in the budget price point are clocked in at 2.0. So this is actually a pretty powerful processing with the clock speed at 2.3 frequency. And it's gonna be pretty solid speeds. It also does have a MediaTek Helio P35, which is not the best in the world, but this device does have I believe 3 or 4 gigabytes of RAM, depending on which model you choose. So that's the really good part about this device, is that it does have some pretty decent performance. Yeah, this is actually a really good performer in the graphics arena. Now, because the A03S had a 2.3 frequency processing chip, it's going to pretty much keep up with everything that you're doing graphics-wise, along with the Mali G52. Now, this is the A13 with the 8 nanometer processing chip with the 2 gigahertz frequency, and this is going to actually be the Exynos 850, which is one of their higher, like entry-level mid-range processing chips. But this is going to give you the better graphics quality along with the performance. So you get smooth and ultra with that 1080 panel. It's going to give you a better viewing experience and also a smoother. You're going to notice it's extremely clean.
I need a weapon.
I tried to get first blood right there, but I got beat to it right there. So just to let you know. Oh, dang. You got me 2 times in a row. That's crazy.
Enemies ahead.
Wow. So yeah, you can compete, but it just depends on like the person you're playing against. This guy looks like he's advanced. And yeah, so I'm having a real hard time, but obviously the graphics, I'm gonna sneak up from behind him. Like right here. Where's he at?
For the red
All right, so I'm getting destroyed in this game right now, but it's all good. Got him. Got him. Now, as far as the weight of this device is, it's going to be 195 versus 196. So the grams of weight is going to be slightly heavier on the A03S, but not by much. The A13 is just 1 gram of weight lighter. So they're pretty much going to be the exact same weight or whatever. But when it comes to the cameras, I want to talk about those camera setups on the back. So taking a look over at the A03S for a second, we're going to take a look at the back cameras, right? We're getting that 13 megapixel main, 2 megapixel macro, and 2 megapixel for portraits on here, right? And now on the A13, we actually get a 50 megapixel and 5 megapixel, a 2 megapixel, and a 2 megapixel macro lens, right? So you're getting the extra lens when it comes to the performance on the camera. So let's do a quick selfie on both of these things. And that time it did open up on the A03S quicker. Let me see. Wow, that was exactly the same time. So I think they might have the exact same fingerprint on both of these devices. It does look like it's almost, sometimes for the most part, it's going to be very similar when it comes to the speeds. Okay, so you know that I like that about these guys, that they did have comparable speeds. But let's just take a quick selfie shot on both of these so we can see which one for the portrait is going to be a little bit better. And then I'm going to take a shot as well. So let me just like do the group one so it's a little bit easier to see me. Look at both cameras at the same time and hit the shutter button. All right, cool. So I took that photo. Let's compare them. I have the A03S on the right and the A13 on the left. Kind of want to see which one did a better job. As far as detail goes, I don't know. It's low light. They're both a little fuzzy because it's low light, but I don't know. Let's see. Let me know. Let me know which one took a better photo down below, because we have an 8 megapixel on the rear of the A13 on here, but then we also do got a 5 megapixel selfie on the A03S. So the A13 will probably do a better job in most lighting conditions. So I just want to mention that. But in the low light condition that I just put it in, they both kind of struggled with the frequency, and they were both the fuzziness you could see on both of these cameras. So let's turn it around and we'll do a portrait on the rear of both of these guys. So I'll start with the A03S portrait, and it's halfway at 4 on blur. So it says a blur effect is ready. Okay, now I got my blur effect. I'm gonna put this one on 4 for the portrait. And now it says ready, and I'm gonna hit that. Now let's take a look at both of these cameras when it comes to the performance, and let me know down in the comment section which one is better. It looks like the A13 did a much better job here, but if you're still here, just type below in the comment section, I'm still here, so I know you're still rocking with me. But yeah, that A13 has a lot better details when it comes to the 50 megapixel camera. On the back of it, it just looks extremely detailed, and the colors are a little bit better as well. They're a lot brighter against the, you know, the less powerful main sensor, which is the 13 megapixel on the A03S, right? So the batteries are going to perform very similarly. As a matter of fact, I have been getting a really good battery on the A13, but because this one is pushing less pixels on the A03S, that means we're going to get a better battery on here compared to the A13. So I just wanted to mention that as well. But when it comes to power, these guys, the A03S is actually pretty good because it's clocked in at 2.3 frequency versus the 2.0 frequency. But just keep in mind that we do have an 8 nanometer processing chip here versus a 14 nanometer processing chip, which is going to deliver more power when it comes to that, right? And a bigger display on the A13 and a brighter display on the A13 with the same V Infinity U drop on here, the Infinity V drop on both of these guys. With I think the A13 has slightly less chin, when it comes to it, but barely noticeable. But these are like pretty much brother and sister, cousins or something, and they both do a really good job when it comes to the overall quality that you're getting on both smartphones, as well as call quality. Mono speakers on both of these guys. So I just want to throw that out there, that the speakers will sound very similar. All right, so that's the A13. Let me know how that sounds. It's all the way up. And then this is the A03S. All right, so let me know which one does a better job overall in all categories in your opinion, but obviously you're going to get better battery life with the A03S, but you're going to get better screen display on the A13, but then you're going to get better gaming performance on the A13, but this has a good frequency clock speed, almost exact same batteries, but obviously this one will outperform it because of the display is giving off less pixels when you're looking at it, less high density. But I'm going to get right back with you, and I'll show up in the comments section, and I'll check you guys later. But make sure you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, depending where you are. Have a great night. Later, crew. Peace.